Hi everyone. So Janitrika, Shukonna, Anupam, Kruti, Naveen, and Raghav, all of them were Cheenta students, just like you are. So today's discussion session is going to be about the preparation questions and the usual questions that you have. I'm quite sure that most of you know the answer, but you need to work hard. But here there's people who have uh, done hard work. They will tell their real experiences and share about and help you, make your journey faster. So I will not talk much. I will just hand it over to all of this incredibly hardworking people, and I will just play the part of asking questions and let you ask questions. Okay, so I will go in an alphabetical order in terms of naming. First, I would like each one of you, like of the Janatrika, Shukonna, Anupam, Kruti, Naveen, and Raghav, to introduce yourself. What is your plan ahead? What is your background? And yeah, that's it. And how was it to prepare and clear the exams that you have given? Like both, all the exams, even if you have not uh, got into that corresponding institute, you should also tell your experiences. IIT, ISI, CMI, mostly these three, and CVT. So I would first go over to Anupam, and then Janatrika, and in the corresponding order. So Anupam, yes.
Yeah, am I audible?
Yeah, perfectly audible.
Yeah, okay. So I am Anupam. I am from Maharashtra, Mumbai, and I have done my graduation from Mumbai University. This was my second attempt for IIT JAM as well as ISI. In my first, I will firstly talk about my mistakes which I did in my first attempt. Uh, in my first attempt, I've mainly focused on theory part rather than focusing on objective parts, and that's where I lagged the most while solving by giving my 2023rd attempt. And in my second attempt, I mainly focused as I knew theory most of the time, most of the theory. So I mainly focused on objective part and how to approach each and every type of a question. And Chinta has helped me in that part also.
And okay, so did you give other examinations like?
Yeah. I even gave ISI as well as CUET. Uh, yeah, just two of them.
Okay, okay, okay. Um, do you have anything more to add, or should I move on to the next person?
Mm, no, nothing.
Sure. Okay. Thank you. And yeah, I will move on to the next person. I think Janatrika, and then Kruti.
Yes, sir.
So, yeah.
Yeah. Hello, everyone. I'm Chenetrika. I'm from Tamil Nadu, but I did my graduation from Delhi University Lady Shri Ram College for Women. And was my first attempt in JAM this year. So I cleared in the first attempt. And talking about my preparation, I started my preparation in June, and was like kind of slow only while doing my preparation in the starting days. But then I kind of picked up the pace at the while I was ending the days towards the February. So talking about my preparation, like I used to do the theory, and Cheenta's assignments were very helpful for me. So they kind of divided the jam questions for each and every topic, which helped me to go through the do the theory and also revise the question papers and do the sums properly. So this was my preparation strategy, and I gave mock test in the last 1 month of January, and yeah, I cleared jam this year, and I'll be doing my MSc statistics from IIT Kanpur. So yeah, hoping to continue my journey with Cheetah.
Okay, okay. Thank you, Janatrika. So, one thing, she has started late, but for all the students out here, doesn't mean that you should start late, and you should start early, because she has a statistics background. But many of you may not have a statistics background. You may be coming from economics, mathematics, economics, various kind of domains. So yes, so uh, I'm glad Janitrika worked hard in the last portion of her lab. Okay, thank you. I will now move on to Kruti, and then Naveen, then Raghav, then Shukanya. So, hi. Hi, Kruti.
Hello everyone, my name is Kruti and I've done BSc Statistics from Ruya College in Mumbai. My story is pretty similar to Anupam and we are more or less prepared together for our journey. I got actually IIT Tirupati but I cleared ISI as well. So one more thing that I would like to add that Cheenta, I actually requested Srijit sir to
Is it my one or okay? Okay. Okay, so we can move on to Naveen while Kruti comes back with her internet. Yeah, Naveen.
हेलो, मेरा नाम नवीन है। मेरा ग्रेजुएशन बीएचयू से हुआ था और मेरा ऑनर्स मैथ था। बाकी 2 साल स्टैट्स भी पढ़ना था एंड बाद में पहले मेरा प्लान था मैथ से ही आगे पोस्ट ग्रेजुएशन करने का, लेकिन बीच में ही प्लान बदल गया। प्लान स्टैट्स का हो गया। तो 2023 में मेरा फर्स्ट अटेम्प्ट था एंड उस टाइम स्टैट्स में मेरा 4 मार्क्स था। अ, ऐसा नहीं था कि मैंने पढ़ा नहीं था, लेकिन ऐसा एग्ज़ाम के टाइम मुझे कुछ ऐसा अजीब-सा हो गया था कि मेरा माइंड ही नहीं काम कर रहा था, एंग्ज़ायटी टाइप हो रहा था। अ, द उसके बाद कुछ उसके बाद कुछ सोचता था मैं इसके बारे में कि ऐसा क्यों हुआ कि मैं पढ़ा हूँ, लेकिन एग्ज़ाम के टाइम ऐसा क्यों हुआ कि मैं एक भी क्वेश्चन ढंग से नहीं कर पाया। तो उसके बाद मैंने 2024 में ड्रॉप लिया और सबसे ज़रूरी चीज़ जो मैंने किया वो था कि मैंने विपस्सना की, मेडिटेशन किया। 10 दिन का मेडिटेशन था। उससे मेरा ध्यान ध्यान केंद्रित हो रहा था। मेरा फ़ोकस बहुत बढ़िया हो गया था और मुझे अपनी गलतियाँ क्लियर समझ में आ रही थी। और कहीं मैं बहुत ही ज़्यादा, ये ऐसा नहीं था कि मैं बहुत ज़्यादा पढ़ता था या फिर बहुत बहुत तेज़ था, लेकिन और मेरा स्टैट्स में, चूँकि मेरा 2 साल ग्रेजुएशन का कोरोना में गया था, तो स्टैट्स से ज़्यादा कुछ पता नहीं था। बस इतना था कि हाँ, स्टैट्स में भी कुछ पार्ट मैथ का होता है, तो इसलिए स्टैट्स का भी एग्ज़ाम देना है। तो और इस एक इस 1 साल में मैंने चिंता से क्लासेस की और नो और इसका जो मॉक टेस्ट दिया। तो शुरू में मॉक टेस्ट मेरा बहुत ख़राब आया था। मुझे याद है मेरा पहला मॉक टेस्ट था और मेरा 4 नंबर आया था। ये जनवरी फर्स्ट वीक की बात है और उसके बाद फिर मैं कुछ-कुछ इम्प्रूवमेंट किया और कुछ-कुछ प्लानिंग किया, लेकिन बहुत ही बढ़िया प्रदर्शन नहीं हो पा रहा था। कुछ बढ़ा 27-28 नंबर तक आया था। उसके बाद फिर लास्ट के 1 वीक मेरा मैंने पीवाईक्यू पर फ़ोकस किया। सारा पीवाईक्यू मैंने पहले से भी लगाया था, लेकिन फिर से पीवाईक्यू को बार-बार लगाया और उसमें पता किया कि मतलब गलती क्वेश्चन लग रहे थे, लेकिन उसका आंसर में कहीं न कहीं थोड़ी-सी मिस्टेक हो जाती थी। अक्सर ऐसा ही होता था। तो मैं उस पे फ़ोकस किया। फिर एक लास्ट का 1 वीक मेरे लिए सबसे इम्पोर्टेंट था, क्योंकि अ, 1 वीक पहले मैंने गेट का मैथ का एग्ज़ाम दिया था और उसके बाद मुझे नहीं लग रहा था कि मेरा हो पाएगा कहीं भी, और मैं बहुत ही मतलब बहुत ज़्यादा नर्वस था कि कैसे क्या होगा। फिर मुझे पता नहीं क्या हुआ। मैं अगले दिन मंडे का दिन था, मैं सुबह-सुबह बैठा था, मैं एग्ज़ाम मॉक टेस्ट देने के लिए बैठा था। उसके पहले मैं अ, आँख बंद किया और मेरा लगभग आधी पौने घंटा मैं ध्यान में था, कुछ मेडिटेशन टाइप था और बहुत बढ़िया था। और उससे जो हुआ कि वो लास्ट 1 वीक रोज़ चलता रहा। रोज़ लगभग 1 घंटा या आधा घंटा मेरा ये मेडिटेशन होता था। उसके बाद फिर जो जो गलतियां थी सब कुछ क्लियर हो रहा था, और उसी एक वीक में मेरा सब कुछ बढ़िया हो गया और मेरा IIT जैम में 60 रैंक था। तो ये मेरी जर्नी थी।
That's great. Thank you for sharing your preparation journey. I think the meditation thing is really something um, useful. I remember one of my um, so first of all, I've never given this entrance examination, so I rely on this hardworking people only to give me insights or how they prepare. I only gave the last entrance examination was my bachelor's in statistics of ISI, and last year PhD के लिए for PhD it was the GRE thing. So in GRE it is more about it was hard in the sense that all the questions were from English or I mean verbal section or mathematics ka, it was class 8 9 stuff, which was not hard, but you have to do it really really fast, and I do not like to do things fast. So during the premeditation really helped me during the examination too, because um, if you panic during the GRE examination, it will be gone, like, and it will be really gone, and you just see the number right after the examination, so it makes you more sad if you do bad. Anyway, so yes, so thank you, Naveen. It does help, and I'm sure many of us do meditation in their own possible ways. So thank you. I will now on to Raghav to share his journey. And Raghav was a school student of Cheenta, uh, like Olympiad school student of Cheenta. And I would also like to ask Raghav to talk about how his Olympiad school preparation and this preparation was different. And yeah, a bit more. That's it. Raghav, can you hear me?
Uh, am I audible?
Yeah. Oh, sorry, I should have gone to
Uh,
Kruti. But yeah, okay. Kruti, I will go to Kruti after Raghav. Sorry.
Hello everyone. My name is Saga, and I did my BSc in statistics from Delhi University, Sri Venkateswara College. But originally I'm from Uttarakhand, and I've been a part of Cheenta since 2019, I guess. Like Sir said, I joined Cheenta's Olympiad batch for preparing for ISI BMAT, but I
Mm-hmm.
couldn't get in. Uh, Actually, Cheenta was quite different back then. Uh, there were there were 7 levels, if I remember correctly, 5 or 7 levels,
Yeah.
uh, and there was no batch for any entrance examination. It was according to your general aptitude for towards mathematics, how good mathematics or uh, how how much mathematics you know, and they put you in a batch. So it was a really cool concept. I've never heard of something like that. So yeah, and Chinta helped me a lot in gaining my interest in mathematics as well as my knowledge in mathematics. Uh, the things I learned in Chinta, uh, I always used to flex them in my school or my college, and everyone thought that it's so cool. Like I already know the stuff that they're going to teach us next year. So yeah, Chinta always helped me, and it always kept me interested in mathematics. And eventually, I joined statistics. First, I joined mathematics in Delhi University, but then something came to me, and I just like I changed it to statistics. I don't know what happened. Actually, my parents uh, they said that I should maybe try statistics. They might have heard it from somewhere. I don't even know. So it was a good call, I guess. And I wasn't even doing really well in college. I joined Cheenta again in for JAM preparation, and they helped me prepare for statistics. They taught me the entire statistics course, the college course. I hadn't learned it very well in college. So yeah, that's that, and all the mocks and assignments. The assignments were the best, I guess. Assignments were really great, and the discussions and everything. Chinta's, yeah, I'll say Chinta has played a really important role in my preparation.
Thank you, Raghav. So, um, We will talk more about the preparation stuff in details in the because it's kind of the same for all.
Yes.
I will now move on to Kruti because I think I should have gone to her next after Naveen. Yeah. So Kruti stopped at a very crucial stage where she said my name and she disappeared. And
So
so
I'm
yeah,
sorry for,
no, no,
yeah.
no, no.
So yeah, I was just saying that mine and Anupam's journey was more or less similar, and I remember last year when I couldn't clear ISI or IIT in my first attempt. Then I actually requested Srividya to let me join the intern team to solve the mock tests and stuff. I know we didn't help much, but it really helped us to see where we stood actually. And the second best thing that Cheenta could have done for me was the introduction of Illuminati batch. So it was like a boon for me. Shauharya did a very good job in explaining. He conducted classes twice a week and sent problem sets for every week. So it was really helpful for me. Yeah, and rest of the story is similar to everyone else. Thank you.
Thank you, Kruti. Thank you, Kruti. So regarding Illuminati batch, it's a secret batch of Chinta, which no one knew, and no one will know who will be in the Illuminati batch, because those students are selected based on their performance in the classes and in their assignments what they submit online. All of them are selected based on that, and also the interns who work. So we have a very interesting system, and I believe that that works really well for the students, like who prepare. Is that we ask the students to volunteer for writing solutions of mock tests even, and assignments, quizzes, creating content. All the teachers that you have seen, Shuhardo sir was also have created content for a long time on our YouTube channel, and then he became a faculty here. So all the students who interested students are there, they love to create, and I believe that if you gain knowledge and if you complete the circle of giving it out, that stays in your brain for a long, long time. Someday if you're doing really good work to the current students, you will be called in limited batch, and you will not know who are there, who are not there. So you have to work hard to know, and all of them has worked hard actually. So yeah, thank you, Kruti. I will now move on to Shukanya. Hi, Shukanya.
Hello everyone, I am Shukanna and I'm currently doing my bachelor's, third year bachelor's from Bethune College under Calcutta University. I started preparing for JAM in March, I think, after our SIM 3 exams got over. And for ISI, I did not focus that much on ISI, I was more focused on JAM. The maths part, Cheenta really helped with the maths part. And for ISI, I was really calm during the PSA and PSP because I didn't take any pressure that I have to clear it. I didn't even think that it would go well. I took one problem, the easiest problem was testing, and I just solved it. Then turned another paper and saw that I could solve. And like that, I solved 5 to 6 problems. And that's it, I think.
Yeah, yeah. By the way, there's a small disclaimer. Shukana already knew that she is going into IIT, so probably that's why she was cool enough. So yeah, that may be a reason too. So that plays in the back of the mind, right, Shukana? What do you think?
Yes.
Yeah. So what she meant is that you have to be calm during the examinations. That's true always, as always. Okay. Thank you all of you for the introduction of yourselves. Let me now go on to individual questions that we have in Chinta's collection that we usually ask people out there. Um, so number one question is that we all of you have talked about the strategies and stuff, but what do you think? When is the right time to start preparing? What do you think? Uh, yeah, that's the first question I would ask, and it should be a single word answer, so each one of you can answer, like, or maybe a few lines. Yeah. what is a good time to start preparing? Like seriously, I mean, amidst all this college stuff, college examinations, semester examinations and stuff, what is the right time to prepare, do you think? Or if you have started later on, what do you think would have been great for you to start earlier? So which time? Yeah, please go in the same order that I have asked Anupam, and the same order. Yeah.
So I feel starting by first week of April or end of March will be helpful. Since in my first attempt, I started by March only, along with Cheenta, and in second attempt I started with, after ISI results.
Okay. Okay.
Yeah.
Thank you. Next person.
Yeah, so I think February would be a very good time, ideal time. So when students are, pursuing their graduation alongside this preparation, so it would be quite hard for them to manage both the things, as it was for me as well. So if you start well in advance, it just means jam comes in February. So if you start a year before, it would be very easy for you all to manage both, and you can do it around, say, in a day you can spend around 2 hours. That would be very great. So ideal time would be to start in February.
Okay. Perfect. Thank you. Next person.
So yeah, according to me, I would say that after it, like during third semester, would be the very ideal time to start the preparation. But it's okay if 1 year is enough for it. But still, we need to like work very hard for it. It's your third year, and you have to manage both of them. So yeah, ideal time for me would be from third semester. You can start from the basic, like try completing the math section. So yeah, that would be my answer.
Yeah. Yeah. Okay. Probably these people will be giving it um, from the next year. So if I mean, if they have started late, there is nothing to do. But what do you think? Okay, this will be a follow up question. Now I will go on to the next people out there, Naveen and Rahul and Shukanya. Yeah.
प्लान पहले से रहना चाहिए, सेकंड ईयर से प्लान रहना चाहिए कि एक इसका सिलेबस क्या है, इसका स्ट्रेटजी कैसे, क्वेश्चन आते हैं, कहाँ से ज़्यादा क्वेश्चन आते हैं, कहाँ से कम क्वेश्चन आते हैं. प्लान पहले से रहेगा तो हमारा माइंड में अगर बैठा रहेगा कि कब क्या करना है और कौन सा इम्पोर्टेंट टॉपिक है, तो तैयारी होती रहेगी. बाकी लास्ट में हम 4 महीने 5 महीने लास्ट के अगर क्वेश्चन पीवाईक्यू लगाते हैं और उसके हिसाब से तैयारी करते हैं, तो ये बेस्ट रहेगा.
Yes, I totally agree to this, and I really agree to this PYQ thing, because, and that was the whole reason. Like, I remember why we mostly focus on PYQ. At least that should be the list. So I was preparing for my ISI BStat, and I used to learn. I was not a student of Cheenta. I used to learn at a Kolkata institute called Ramanujan School of Mathematics. So there, ISI and ISI people, like, it was just beside ISI, Calcutta. So the ISI students there taught, and I was their student too. Later on, after when I went into ISI, I also taught at Ramanujan, RSM, we call in short. So there I learned myself um, all the basics for statistics entrances of BStat. So why I am taking up this experience is that there was one senior of mine called Prakash Chakraborty, and funnily enough, he is also the assistant professor right now at Penn State, where I'm doing my PhD. So that's good. So he said that. So usually what happened is that for people who go into like give this all these BStat and type of entrances, bachelor's in statistics for ISI, people who are good with Olympiad problem solving, like regional math Olympiad or more depth in math Olympiads problem solving, they have an upper hand because they are doing it for a long time. So Professor said that he didn't get into any Olympiad or stuff, but he said that if there is a book called Tomato 10+2 Mathematics for problem solving, we all use this for CMI MSc data science problem solving. Okay, so he said that if you solve each and every problem of this book, which contains some problems and also the past year problems of ISI, BStat, and BMath, then I'm sure like you will be really good prepared. And taking inspiration from that, we made all the questions, and if I will just show it to the students that how we have made it, because it's very important to just understand, because people need to believe that this is something important and this is something useful. So let me show it to you. So for example, let's say you go in any of the class, let's say any assignment, and if you go here and if you see the assignment here, you will see that this assignment contains 3 problem sets. This was probably not so organized during Kruti and Kruti's time. I'm not sure. This has been made more organized right now. Kruti and Anupam's time, yes. During the time, we just gave the past year problems number, but this year we just upgrading and we made PDFs and stuff. So you can see all the topic. Each week there is a topic, and for each topic there is a PDF which contains all ISI and IIT past year problems. So when students ask me like, hey, how can we solve more problems? I first ask them that, did you solve all the problems like of PYQs? Yes, it's hard. And also, even if you have solved it, you should solve it twice, because you get all the ideas together in single place and make solutions in a single copy. So all the assignments should be done by the students, and then they should move on to other things like extra problems, quizzes, mock test and stuff. Without these things, the strategies will not be in your mind. The techniques you need to adopt in your mind will not come. These are the basic stuff. And IIT is actually very easy if you solve the PYQs, because the techniques are almost the same. It's just repetitions of that different problems. Okay, I will now move on to Raghav for his insights.
Thank you, sir. So I'd say that if you have 6 months left, of course, if you have 1 year left, it's well and good. If you prepare 1 year, it's good. If you start preparing in February or March, but if you have like 5 or 6 months left, then you should not be demotivated. If you are motivated enough, then even 5 months, 4 months are enough. You just need to work harder. I think it's easily doable if you just put in the work that is needed.
Yeah, okay. Who is left? Shukanya.
For JAM, I think the last 1 or 2 months is very important. If you like do problems very thoroughly for the last 1 or 2 months, you will change your grades. The mock tests, the results on the mock tests will improve. And to start, I think February, March is a good time. And if you are a statistics student, then do the past year problems after second or third semester, when you get what statistics is. In the first semester, you are trying to figure out what this subject is still.
Yeah, I totally agree to that. Ideally, I have written on it on LinkedIn that ideally there should be no such coaching like Cheenta does. Okay, it should be like people should solve problems while they are doing their BSc problem solving. That should be the ideal case, but unfortunately, it's not done in the colleges. Okay, so based on this question that we asked, like when should you prepare, and people have told that 6 months is good. And based on that, we have started the crash course. All the students here know this was not there in any of the batches of last year. There was no crash course. And since the Illuminati batch was so successful and it was, people really loved it and enjoyed there. So therefore, we wanted to do it at a higher level, and that's why we brought the crash course. So the Illuminati thing that that Kruti and others have talked about, it's actually it's an elongated version of that. The crash course is that. So you should join the crash course, all of you, all the students out here in the platinum batch. You should. So let's assume that the crash course is starting from this week. So how would you, each one of you would prepare in your own way in this last whatever time is left for IIT, ISI? I would now, like, imagine it's a hypothetical thought experiment. How would each one of you prepare in this last whatever 6 months left for JAM preparation? What would you do in a sequential manner? And from that, people will get inspired from here. That's the whole purpose. So I will again move on to Anupam, and in a sequential manner. So it's a thought experiment. What would you have done? And students are going to take a motivation from there, an inspiration from there. Yeah, same order. Anupam.
Okay, okay. So if I have last 6 months, so firstly I will start revise the max part because max is very much crucial. If generally people what do is they leave that 30 marks of max and focus mainly on statistics. But I suggest don't leave that max part because that can be a rank booster kind of thing. And After doing my max revision, I will do the basic things probability part, and then go to inference part. And if and in the last 1 or 2 months, try solving more PYQs and focus on mock test, and note down where I am going wrong in mock test, and try to solve the and try not to do the same mistake in the next mock test.
Okay, so there's a question students ask me that students ask at the end of the lecture quizzes, and students ask me at the end of the module quizzes. So I would like to know from all of you also, like, do you think the students should focus on this time based approach towards the end, last 1 2 months, or all throughout the year? Because people are also preparing for ISI, and I do not think personally that time based approach is very important all throughout the year. Learning 80% and 20% of the time for preparation. So what do you think? I may be wrong, sure, that's why I'm asking Anupam. And the question also goes to the other people. Yeah.
I didn't get the question, sir. Can you repeat it?
The question is that should the students solve time-based questions right away from the beginning, or they should solve it towards the end, and the initial portion they should focus on more learning and building the foundations, like Cheenta is doing? Or
In the
should they like
start,
take the time and solve the assignment problems? That's what I'm asking.
in the start, actually they should build the foundation because it will be much helpful in during masters too. And in the last part, they should solve the later part.
Okay, time-based approach, not all throughout the year.
Yeah. No, no.
Okay. Now next person, Janatrika.
Yes, sir. So, for this time-based approach, I wouldn't say it is very important. Like, a student must do very good practice with this time-based approach, because personally talking about my experience, this quizzes, I think I used to like last year by now, I always used to do with this quizzes only. So when I used to do it, even the simplest thing, just because I have to complete it within time, I used to go wrong. Even the simplest thing, which I know very well. So at times, what I used to do is, like, even after time gets over, I used to do it very slowly. So the problem is, like, it's not like you should complete within a time. Your main motivation should be to do it correctly. So even in my jam, I was talking to a lot of my friends who, after the jam exam, everyone said they had attempted 50 questions, 53 questions, and all that. But I attempted only 40 questions. Like, I was like doing it very slowly. But then out of 40 questions, my around more than 35 questions came out to be correct. Like, my accuracy level was even correct. So your main motivation should be to do it correctly rather than doing it within time. Like, time, it should be a matter of concern, but I don't think you should focus much on that. You should, maintain a balance between both. Do it fast, but at the same time, your main focus should be to do it correctly, because when you do it jaldi say, like, if you speed it up, you might tend to go wrong. So that has happened with me personally. So my main focus was to do it correctly. Do it takes time.
Thank you. And what about the preparation strategy during this? Let's say you start from now.
Okay, so I need not hypothesize. So it was my same situation last year. So I just had 6 months, and I had to, manage my college also with me alongside. So I used to divide my days. Like, I used to properly plan ki kab kya karna hai, what is my strength, what is my weakness. So my weakness was max, whereas my strength was stats. Like, I used to understand stats quickly than max. So what I used to do is, I used to take a lot of time to understand max and do it properly. So I spent a lot of time for max, and whereas I was also doing side by side probability as well as the course was moving on. So I was trying to manage both. So your proper strategy should be the planning part. Matlab, everyone's strengths and weakness will be different. So I think everyone should do a small SWOT analysis of their own, understand where they are and what they should be doing, what are their strengths, what are their weakness, and how they can improve on each part. That is the main part. So I would be so what I did was I divided my entire weekend, a little bit of my college part, whatever academics was needed, and yeah, focused mainly on max and yeah, probability and stat, and I'll be mainly focusing on problem solving. So talking about these assignments, as you showed now, like you showed the classroom, right? So doing that was really helpful, because when you do a theory, that will not help you. Like when you stop there, it will not help you. You should, do the problem solving. And initial days, I faced a lot of problem in problem solving, because learning theory is different, whereas applying that theory, what you learned in problem solving, it comes out to be a little bit different, like I felt at least. So that initial, starting problem was there. So spending a lot of time on problem solving, and that too relevant problems. See, in jam you get, like objective type of questions. You don't get like some derivation or proving kind of sums. So you spending more time on such sums would be wasteful, and I think everyone should do sums which are relevant to PYQ. So solving a PYQ would be a very good option. And if it's last 6 months, so it would be properly planning and doing the theory and PYQs. I think that would be very great given the time and responsibilities we have.
So there are more than 1200 PIQs. So so do you think it's like people say that they have done all the PIQs? Is it true? Like I'm not sure. 1200 problems doing all over the year is actually not a really easy task. So what do you think? Or they are just focusing on the last 5 years?
No, I did all the PYQs for whatever theory I have learned. Matlab,
Okay.
I learned the theory. I see the class at 2x speed, or at times I don't see the class also. There used to be some written notes, so I used to read the notes and a little bit of notes which I had in my classes in the college itself. So I used to read the notes, and directly I used to start with the problem solving. And even the problem solving, the seeing the video, at times it takes time for me, because I started late and I had a lot of responsibilities. So what I used to do is I used to refer again the notes only, or keep the video in 2x speed and see the thing. So I did the problem solving only. So whatever theory I have learned and whatever I prepared for jam, I had attempted all the questions from previous questions, and it doesn't take a lot of time also. Even if students start give the whole week for the classes or college classes and prepare at the weekend also, but at the weekend they should completely give it for jam. And if they start with it from the morning, they'll be able to do the PYQs of that particular theory, because I think Cheenta has really segregated all the PYQ questions for the theory part. So if they follow the assignments and a little bit of own how to say, their own volunteering to do some little bit of problems which comes the way, I think that would be really good. And that's something I did, and it helped me as well.
Okay. So you were saying, so one question that many people ask me is this, that since you raised up this issue, thank you for the detailed answer, is this that they can solve book end exercises, they can understand the theory, but they cannot solve past year questions. So what should one do during this time? Like why is this happening? What do you think, having an experience in this?
So yeah, so this is something I faced in max part earlier, and even in probability, like nothing to tell about it, but yeah, this is a problem which is faced. Like this is a starting issue, right? Matlab, you learn a theory, but immediately you're applying it there. Like there used to be a small kind of techniques, and even you can do it from scratch as well. Like solve it do a very big derivation and solve it. You can do that as well, but that won't help you in jam. While you're giving the 3 hours paper, you cannot do all that derivation. So you have to go with a shortcut method. So all those techniques, I don't think when we learn a theory, we are not we don't get familiar with it. So I think starting days, we should not get demotivated. but be a little patient in learning those techniques, see those problem solving classes. Once you get that technique, like, the starting way of going about with problems, then I think subsequent problems doing that will be very easier. So
Okay.
so I think I spoke to you about also, like, I also said this key, I'm able to learn the theory, I'm understanding that, but I'm not able to do the problems. And this
Mm-hmm.
is what you said to me. You said to me that either you're not remembering the theory, or you're not applying it, like you're not applying it properly there. So this should be the problem. So I was very patient. I used to see all the problem solving classes in the starting few days, and I was like I used to reach out to everyone. Matlab, for problem solving, I used to be not hesitant. I used to reach out, and initial days it takes a lot of time, but once you get the pace, you can do it. That's it. It's just a starting problem.
So do you think, like, I'm not sure, but for being like statistics students, do you think mathematics is the largest mountain, or like, and then since you have done probability and statistics really well in your colleges, you know the theory, so you just need to know the problem solving techniques. So is this the case?
Yeah, I feel that. So for probability and stats, see, it depends. For me, mathematics was a very big thing. So I was like, very, like, in my college they did not teach it well. So maths was like, I was zero at it. So I had to start everything from scratch. So for probability and stats, I know a lot of theory in that. Matlab, whatever was taught, I know it in my college as well. But I was not strong in that. Like, the theory which I learned, the concepts were not very crystal clear for me. So, but it was very easy to take, like, learn it, understand it faster. So yeah. So yeah, mathematics is a little bit difficult for me. I don't know about others. For some people, mathematics will be very easy, and for stats would be tough. But it depends from people to people.
Got it. Okay. Thank you. Anything more you want to add?
No, so
Okay. I will now go to Kruti. Hi, Kruti. So, what is your experience? And also, since you have got into ISI, I would like to know, like, also you have given IIT, I'm sure. So, IIT is objective best, ISI is subjective best. The proof writing is very important. So, how did you manage this? Because many students are here for also ISI.
So yeah, Janitrika covered pretty much everything for JAM. I have one more thing that I would like to add is first, uh, take the printout of the syllabus, be it for ISI, be it for IIT. So take the printout of the syllabus. Treat the syllabus as the ultimate map, and underline each and every word written in the syllabus. Understand why they've written there. Like if they've written sequences, what do you mean by sequences? What is sequences? How many sequences are there? Try to investigate each and every topic, and so divide your days according to that, and then you should try to study. One more thing, that make friends, make good friends who have similar approach, who have similar motive, who have similar goals. Talk to them about topics, about problem solving. So it may not seem cool enough, but we learn much more by talking about the topics, by solving our friends doubts. So this was for ISI. I was actually pretty much sad after my JAM results. So again, I did the same. I took the printout of the syllabus. I divided each of my week. So week one, what do I do? So the topics which are not covered in IIT JAM, like regression is not in depth, and sample survey, DOE. I divided each and every week for that. I studied each and everything that I could. I asked doubts as much as I can to Anupam, to Shawarjo, to everyone. And at the last, I did the PYQ, the end of the week. So this is how I proceeded for ISI. And yeah, JAM requires the quick thinking and problem solving. Your calculation part should be strong. ISI means that you should understand more on its beauty. So yeah, in the first attempt, I understood the beauty. In the second attempt, I focused more on the problem solving part. So it was a win-win situation for me actually.
How did you practice the proof writing part?
Proofreading part, I would say that for math, I used the tomato a lot. And I also had this book called Challenges and Thrill of Pre-College Mathematics for 10 plus 2 level. For the graduation level, I had attended enough Cheenta lectures and there were enough assignments for the proofs part. And for statistics also, Cheenta assignments were very, very helpful. Also the problem sets, Shawar just said, they were proof and they actually, the problems required think, do you think in a particular scenario. So yeah.
Okay, and another thing, I think it's for most of the students, like the the graduates out here. So how did you like in this online setup? How do you make friends like to discuss? What is your strategy like to
Hmm.
discuss? Yeah, well, how do you select those
So
people you believe in for discussing?
we all have groups, so I just noticed who was more active in the group and I texted them like what are you doing, what is your interest, how much do you study, and then I kept on discussing with you. Anyone from any region. So that is how I proceeded. One more thing I actually missed out was making cheat sheets. So each and every topic you study, make a cheat sheet. I remember I have, for every topic I have two cheat sheets. For probability, I had one cheat sheet where I drew the relation. You told me actually for that relation of each and every distribution. I had one more cheat sheet for the story of the distribution. Why does this distribution exist? So cheat sheets is also a main motive, like main. Yeah.
Yeah, so coming to cheat sheets, we have already our cheat sheets uploaded for the platinum students. So for example, Onyx sir's cheat sheet is really good, where all the questions are, all the topics are written in a pretty well written, it's really good. I think some of the mathematics topic is not there, but I would say Shinjini SI's cheat sheets they have uploaded. I would love if others upload to Janetrika, Shukon, Naveen, Kruti, Anupam, and Raghav. If you can upload your cheat sheet here, I would get in touch with you. So let's say I'm just showing her because she constantly interacted with me. For example, this is, so I asked her to make, because I like to talk or teach with graphs, so she made a graph structure of how to solve every problem and stuff. So this is very important, and this gives you a visual structure. It's your own way. For her it was this. For Shinjini, um, let's see, for her she made one, um, sequence sums, entire sums, and all their solutions. This is the hardest sums she found out, which were hard for her. Okay, so she made all these notes. So it's your, whatever is your, like as Genetrika said, what is your strength, what's your weakness, and based on that you have to make your cheat sheet. So thank you for that. Anything more you want to add? Otherwise I will move on to Naveen.
No, I have nothing more.
Thank you much, Kruti. Naveen, yes.
Yes, sir. In लास्ट के 2 महीने हमको सिलेबस का प्रिंट आउट, जैसे कि कृति ने बोला, वो बहुत ज़रूरी है। सिलेबस और प्रिंट आउट, आप पीडीएफ का भी प्रिंट आउट बहुत ज़रूरी है। दोनों साथ में रहे, हमेशा एनालिसिस करते रहे। बाकी लर्निंग, बेसिक लर्निंग वो बहुत ज़रूरी है कि साथ ही साथ चलती रहे कि क्या हम लोगों का बेसिक क्या है और उसका स्ट्रेटजी क्या है, वो पढ़ना है, और क्या इम्पोर्टेंट है और कैसे हो रहा है। क्योंकि अगर हम ये सब छोड़ देंगे तो हम भूल जाएंगे, लास्ट तक हम भूल जाएंगे। तो ये कहीं ना कहीं एक ड्राइविंग जैसा है कि अगर टाइम है, स्पीड, गाड़ी की स्पीड है टाइमिंग। हमको अगर तेजी से गाड़ी चलानी आती है तब भी खतरा है, एक्सीडेंट का खतरा है। हमको बेसिक मालूम होना चाहिए, बेसिक पर बढ़िया से मालूम होना चाहिए कि कहाँ पर ब्रेक मारना है, कैसे ब्रेक लगाना है, कैसे ब्रेक मिरर का कैसे यूज करना है और सबका। तो यस, टाइमिंग बहुत ज़रूरी है कि 3 घंटे में हो जाए, लेकिन उससे पहले कि ज़रूरी है कि बेसिक कंप्लीट रहे, क्योंकि वो हमेशा काम आएगा, आगे भी काम आएगा। और पीवाईक्यू बहुत ज़रूरी है, ताकि प्लान रहे कि कैसे कैसे हम लोगों का आगे कैसे एग्जाम में निकलेगा, एग्जाम रहेगा।
Right. And so how would you like do in the 6 months, let's say what you're starting right now? You talked about the last 2 months. What do you do in the initial 4 months? Like revise your basics and stuff?
एक्चुअली पिछले 2 साल से मेरे भाई जो कि पोस्ट ग्रेजुएशन IIT बॉम्बे से ही किए हैं, तो वो बार-बार यही कहते थे कि पीवाईक्यू लगाओ, पीवाईक्यू लगाओ, और ये मुझसे नहीं हो पाता था। मैं हमेशा किसी तरह से कोई भी सॉल्यूशन देखकर कॉपी करके दे देता था, लेकिन लास्ट में जब मेरा नहीं हुआ, उसके बाद मुझे रियलाइज़ हुआ कि ये कितना इम्पोर्टेंट है। तो लास्ट के 6 मंथ मैं पीवाईक्यू हमेशा लगाता था। पीवाईक्यू एक सीट बनाया था जिसमें 2007 से लेकर 2023 तक का था, और सबको हर वीक कम से कम 1 या 2 लगाता था। कितना सिलेबस कंप्लीट होता था, जितना भी सिलेबस कंप्लीट होता था उसका ही क्वेश्चन लगाता था। तो और उससे क्या होता था कि जितना मेरा सिलेबस कंप्लीट हुआ है वो कितने एक्यूरेसी के साथ तैयार है और कितना क्वेश्चन गलत हो रहा है, ये सब वहाँ से क्लियर होता था। और तो पीवाईक्यू साथ में लगाते-लगाते और सिलेबस कंप्लीट करता था साथ ही साथ। और मेरा मैथ, मैथ और सबसे ज़रूरी चीज़ जो था मेरा अ, मैथ शुरू से बेसिक सबका क्लियर था, और मैं जेईई का प्रिपरेशन किया था, तो उसमें मेरा इंटरमीडिएट लेवल मैथ बहुत बढ़िया हो गया था। जैसे कि ये हमारा हो गया कैलकुलस हो गया, ट्रिग्नोमेट्री हो गया और मैट्रिक्स हो गया। तो इससे बहुत हेल्प मिला। 10 प्लस मैथ से बहुत बहुत हेल्प मिला।
Got it.
और यस।
So two questions I have for you and others too is that what do you think is, like, many people find it very hard to prepare in 1 year. So do you think it's a good idea to give a drop year? Though I'm not sure who have, I think Anupam and Kruti have done it. Navin, did you give a drop year? Okay, so those who have given a drop year, so what was your experience and what will you suggest the students, like, if, because they may have too much of going on, right? So I just want to be very clear, like, when one should take a drop year and when one shouldn't take a drop year. Is it their personal choice, or how should one take the decision? I know it's like a different type of thinking, but I just want to, I believe that if someone has the opportunity to take a drop year, that person can give the exam better in the first year, because that person will have tension free in their minds, right? So that's what I wanted to ask Kruti and Anupam, and if Naveen comes online. Yeah, Kruti, you can start.
Yeah. So it is definitely an emotional roller coaster ride, actually. Like, to believe that you couldn't clear it in first attempt. There are students who have cleared in first attempt, but you shouldn't compare yourself to them. It's very actually, it's very emotionally a pressure, actually, to like, it's going on in your mind that this is the last attempt. If I couldn't do it, what do I do? How do I start? I could not guarantee. No, your parents are there. They're working hard. They're expecting something from you. It's actually very difficult. But my motivation was simply that I cannot tolerate an insult to statistics. So in Maharashtra, actually, I will not say all colleges, but there are some colleges. I was also a part of it, that it was actually disheartening to see the exploitation of the statistics. Like, they're not teaching the beauty, they're not teaching what they should have taught. So it was really disheartening for me. So my sole motivation was to get a good institute. So that was my motivation. So if your motivation is strong enough, that what do you want to do? Why do you want to take a drop? Can you tolerate, like, not tolerate, but can you bear statistics anywhere? So that was my motivation, that I want top institution only. Yeah.
Perfect. Thank you. Thank you, Kruti. And what about Anupam?
Yeah, totally agreeing with Kruti. You have to be very much, you have to be self-confident about taking a drop, because taking a drop is not a small thing. It takes a whole year to prepare again and go through the same thing once again. People will mock you in that time. I was being mocked when I got my JAM result of 2023, and that day was like college farewell, and I was being mocked on that particular day itself. So it was really very sad moment. So I said I was confident enough that if I'm taking a drop, I will surely make it to either IIT Kanpur or my first school was ISI, but it did not. Unfortunately, it did not happen. But I am happy with that. I am into IIT Bombay right now.
That's great. Thank you.
And
Naveen?
I,
Yeah, please.
yeah, I
and
would like to
one more
add
thing I
that.
would like.
Yeah,
Okay.
Anupam, you can continue,
One,
then Kruti can
yeah.
say.
And one more thing I would like to add is all days will not be similar. You will have ups and downs in every day. One day you will feel too much confident, and the other day you will feel low on confidence. So don't bother on that part. Just focus on studying much.
Yeah, Kruti.
Yeah, so would I again say that I was actually lucky because Anupam and me were on the same boat. So we both had the same motive. We both had the same motive. Like we had both had the same goal. So it was actually soothing to talk to him and about our problems because we both were going through a similar emotional ride. So that is why I said you should make friends as much as you can because it makes you it gives us a balance that I'm not alone. It's okay. We'll both do it. So yeah, that was what I wanted to add.
I agree totally. Okay, thank you. So I will now move on to Raghav.
Yes, sir. Uh, so for the last 6 months, I'd say that one can focus on theory for say 4 months because I remember when I was doing it. So in Cheenta, we were taught a lot of theory. So I was always thinking, why are we doing this much theory? We should do more of problem solving. I always used to text Digit sir about the he should add problems and assignment other than the previous year things and all of this. So I always thought that it's an objective paper, so we should there should be more of problems than theory. But after the exam, I realized that if the basics and if the theory is clear, then only you can do well in the actual paper. You can solve as many problems as you like, but your concepts and theory should be clear to you. So I'd say for the first 4 months, you should work on your theory, and as you do the theory, you should do the previous year problems with that simultaneously, which we got in our assignment form. So everything was fine till then. But for the last 2 months, I'd say that it needs extra work for the last 1 or 2 months. What one should do is instead. So of course you should practice more problems, and what you can do is like everyone said, you should take a printout of the syllabus. You keep it with you, and what you do is, sometimes instead of just writing and working on problems, you should think more. Like you think about the topic, say sequence and series, and you read the syllabus, read the topic, and you think about it. You think what all you can recall about the topic and what sort of problems you did on it. Just think more and more about it and write it on a piece of paper. So the more you think about the topic, the more you can retain when you are at that pressure situation in the paper. So I say that for the last 1 month, every day or every second day, you should think about the entire syllabus. You should sit and think what are the topics like estimation, what comes in estimation, what are the methods of estimation, point estimation, confidence
Mm,
interval estimation, what are the methods, what type of problem you can get, and all the things. So think more and write less. So
mm.
that
Got it.
helped me a lot.
Perfect. That's a good point. I appreciate that. Okay, so one follow-up question is that, so after this whole question session, there will be two more questions. One from my side about what could have you done better in IIT, what went wrong. So in your exam preparation, right in the exam hall, that will be the last question, and then I will open up to the audience. Before that, I would like one question answer from Raghav, and I think it should be similar for all. So how do you measure your progress during this 1 year or for 2 years, if for Kruti or Anupam, like, or Naveen, like, who are giving a drop year? How do you measure your progress that you're really progressing? For example, when one is doing a gym, the person measures whatever his or her criteria is, like building muscles, or I'm getting leaner, or losing fat, whatever is a person's choice. So how do you measure your progress that you're doing it well for the IIT or slash IIT ISI examination? So that will be one question from my end.
Okay. So for me, I measured my progress by the time I took in the mock test, not by the amount of problems I used to solve. Because the problem, I always solve the problems whenever, when I started preparing. The first thing I did was I took a printout of 2016 past year paper and I tried to solve it, and I solved it fully, but in 5 to 6 hours. So I knew that I could do this paper. I just need to work on my speed. So to measure my progress, I always check my speed. Till the
Got
last 1 month also, I was not able to complete the paper in time. In the last 1 month, I gave mocks every day. For 30 days, I gave 30 mocks. That's when
it.
like, I was able to do it in time.
Yeah. So coming to what Raghav, we didn't have so many mock tests. So Raghav was a student of Supremum classes. They have really good mock tests, a lot of mock tests out there. So they are doing a really good job that we couldn't do. So thanks to them, that they have also helped a lot of students out there to practice a lot of mock tests that we don't have. So coming to, okay, so is this the same for, so I really like this idea that you have this. So first step will be to understand whether you can solve all the problems in the PDF of an assignment or past year paper. That should be the first step, even if it takes 6 hours or 7 hours. And then the next part, once you can do that, then the next part should be reducing the time. So is it the same for all of you, or do you have other strategies? Like, quickly, like if you have some other strategies, what are the other strategies do you have? Like, anyone, if you have the other strategies, please speak up. Shukanya, Genetrika, Naveen, Kruti, Anupam.
I didn't get your question. Like, could you explain it? Like, what was the
Yeah,
question?
the question is that how do you measure your progress? Like, you're really progressing towards the goal. So Raghav's answer was that I first measure was I can solve all the problems of past year in 6 hours in a reasonable time, not like 2, 3, 5 days. And then he reduced the time by giving so many mock tests. So is it the same for all of you, or how did you manage it? Like, I am sure it will be different for different people. Anyone, feel free to speak up. Shukanya.
So after doing all the after doing all the assignments, so the base is clear. You gave some quizzes, so that was very helpful because there was 5 minutes allotted, 5 or 3 minutes allotted for each question. And for the first few questions, the attempt quiz button was like an anxiety button. I would click it, and even if I could do the problem, I couldn't solve the problem then. But doing the quiz number of times, that got easier. The mind got prepared that, okay, the time ticking is not to be something so anxious to be anxious about. Then after the 5-minute quizzes, then I attempted the 30-minute quizzes. So more than the mock test, these quizzes helped me a lot.
Which quizzes are this?
You gave the 5-minute quizzes every day, I think.
Sorry, I forgot. Okay, yeah. So we have done a lot of experimentations, what works for the students. So I forgot what okay, yeah, I remember. Yeah,
that was very helpful.
Got
it. And and cheat sheets were also very helpful because you will forget things. Even if you do all the assignments, you will forget things, and you will feel like, okay, I did that because but now I cannot solve any of the problems that I only did a few months ago. So the cheat sheets will really help. And one thing I also did was write the approach of the problems, like a conditional distribution, double integrals. In uniform distribution, we always used to draw the graph like that. And for the 6-month preparation, I think linear algebra is really scoring, because if you have the basis right, then it does not take much time. And double integral is also very important because it is in the maths part and also in the joint distribution, probability, all the thing. And probability and statistics is doable. It's much easier because you know the sufficient statistic, it's repetitive, and if you get the jam, you get to know what type of questions are jam questions. So statistics, the part is doable.
Yeah, perfect. I totally agree with that. So, how did you measure your progress? Like, as you have said, like, do you did you follow? I probably okay. So probably you said that by doing those 5 minute and 30 minute quizzes, that's how you measured.
Yes, I didn't get enough time to do the mock test because of the semester exams.
I
So
understand. I understand. This is one of the big problems of most of the students in India with their colleges. So yeah. So yeah, that's why I say the first step should be to do all the past year PYQs. What they say. I recently learned this word PYQ. I didn't know PYQ before. I would say past year problems. So this PYQ thing, I think all of them, all the problems should be done for this by all the students. That's bare minimum, and then do see if you can solve. I think so. Just tell me if this is a good approach for the students. Okay, solve all the past year, all the assignments of Cheenta. Number one step, if you can solve. Number two step, take each past year problems after that, because you have solved it over a time, so probably you have forgotten which year was which thing. Then take past year, let's say 5 6 past year papers, see if you can solve it in a reasonable time, let's say 6 hours 7 hours, and then try to give mock tests if you have time after that to reduce the time, or probably fasten up the process of solving in those of those problems only. What do you think? Is this a good strategy?
yes, that is a good strategy. And after you do the assignments, you need to go back regularly because you will forget. And the mock tests, I think 1 or 2 months is enough.
Hmm.
And I don't think mock tests are very important because also you get used to the pattern. If you take, let's say, A coaching's mock test, they have a set pattern of mock test, and if you get used to those questions, then it may affect the actual test. I feel that. So I think 5 to 6 mock tests is good to check your progress.
Okay, okay, sure. Thank you for the inputs. What about others? Do you want to add? Naveen, Kruti, Anupam, Raghav, Janetrika, Shukanya? Um, yeah, so I would like to tell one thing, because many students ask us for a lot of mock tests, 30 mock tests, 50 mock tests, but that is not possible to do in a proper way by us, because we do not want to do injustice to the students. We are trying to do as many quizzes and stuff. So Supremum classes do a really good job in making so many mock tests, and I've seen students really like them. So you can contact if you want so many mock tests. I mean, that's their choice. They have done it really well. I really appreciate their hard work. But we really stick to 7 to 8 mock tests, because 10 mock tests, 7 full mock tests, 3 subject wise mock tests, and that has worked for the students. So I'm sure if you do it, it will also work for you. But of course, students vary. Okay, any other things you want to add, any one of you, regarding this, or I will go to the next and final question from my end.
I would like to add one thing. So generally, what I used to do is, see, I'll be working out problems, and if I get tired of it, so what I used to do is immediately take out a paper and see how many questions I'm able to attempt,
Mm-hmm.
like on a random basis. For example, say a lecture is going on, and the sir has been out for like say 15 minutes or something, and I immediately, like, I'll feel bored. I'll be sitting at the back, so I'll just take out a question paper and start immediately working out some random problem. I don't mind anything. So doing that basically helped me to build my confidence. And every time solving so many number of questions or able to understand those questions, that helped me measure my progress. And doing those also, it did not affect much because I gave mock test in the last 2 weeks or something, and hardly I gave like 3 4 mock tests, not more than that. So I really backed the point which Sukanya told, like, giving 30 mock tests is not, like, it's not a thing you will do very good in your exams, because at the end of the day, if you lose your calm and stability of the mind, you are going to forget everything and your entire paper is going to be collapsed. So the basic thing is, you should be clear in your concepts, and you should build up your confidence in attempting those the pattern of the paper mainly. So if you are good at it, and if you're well, like, confident enough, then that's a good way to go. So attempting those papers from the starting, like doing it, and randomly checking ki how much I'm able to do every day, or say every month or something, as I progress in my paper. I know that I have a lot of theory to be covered as well, but still, like, I used to see at least how much I'm able to attempt, and I used to give the score part, and I used to see if I had attempted in that year, I would have been able to score so much. So I would be just seeing this, like, keep on seeing that paper and being in that mindset, help me pretty much in my paper. I think that one particular thing um, helped me a lot. I would give a major part of my success to that part, like, doing that question paper from the starting, not the assignment problems, but taking out a question paper and solving it continuously. So
Mm-hmm.
that has helped me a lot in my the final examination.
Okay, perfect. Yeah, so I think this can be useful, like doing the assignments and the past year questions within the time frame, right? Rahul has said, Janatrika has said, and then trying to reduce it by doing like doing it quickly. One thing I did with the previous batch, because we didn't have so many mock tests, is that um, like selected students, that those who have done all the papers, I asked them like, if you have solved most of the questions of PYQ, try to solve the entire problem, the entire paper of single paper within 2 hours. Like, try to give it within 2 hours and see whether you can reach that 60% score or 50% score. So, like, reducing the times. It's like, I think that can be good too if you do not have too many mock tests to solve. And I do agree with that. That was my point of view, because understand that most of the students will not get into IIT statistically, right? Very few will get. So, as I think a more balanced approach of learning, because in this last few months it can really jumble up your mind. So it has happened that I have seen people that they struggle into IIT after going into IIT if their foundations are not good. So therefore, Cheenta's really first and foremost goal is to build your foundations, and of course we do a lot of things for preparation, and I think it's enough for preparing well for the examinations. Okay, so now my final question to all the speakers out here is, what did you do wrong in the examination hall while giving the examination? What could you have done better, and what will you suggest to juniors? So again, Anupam, and the same uh, sequence of people.
In this year, last year's attempt, no. So in this year's attempt, I solved little less number of questions. I would have solved much questions, and I also got confused in a few questions in IIT Jam, and also in ISI MSTAT. And what I could have done is, rather than getting panicked, I should have approached in a other better way.
So how did you solve the problems? Like, how did you attempt the question paper? Like, do you have any specific strategy or planning?
Yeah, as compared to last year, in 2023, I solved first NAT part, numerical part, and then I went to multiple choice one, and then the section A part. But this time I approached section A, section B, and section C part. So that was much helpful, because section A is comparatively easy, because as compared to section C and B part.
Perfect. Thank you. Next person, Kruti. Oh, sorry, Janatrika.
Yeah, so I would say attempting MCQ and NAT part first, and then go to MSQ, because MSQ mein you have to check for all the options, and even see, there's no partial marking as well. You have to either select all the correct options, and even if you select an incorrect option, then also you don't get a mark. And even if you leave out a correct option, even then you don't get a mark. So there's no partial marking in that. So MSQ is quite, I won't say it is less scrolling, but again, like attempting it at last would save a lot of time for you. So MCQ, NAT, and MSQ would be a good choice according to me, and it can vary from person to person as well. So not commenting on that. And yeah, talking about what I did in my exam, I think I did pretty well, but except one thing, like presence of mind. You know, there was a lot of questions where I know the answer. It was pretty much easy, and I made silly mistakes in that because, for example, it was beta I. I was near to it. I thought I was in the subscript of beta, and while taking expectation for it, I lost my mind and I went wrong in that. So this silly mistakes, and you should always have that presence of mind. Ki, what is the question exactly? So I was like, the question it is wrong, the answer is not coming. I just left it, and till the end of the time, after the exam completes, after I saw seeing the solution, then only I realized ki, arey yaar, this was the question was like it was different than I thought. So I think
Got
the
it.
presence of mind you should have there. So
Got it.
yeah, so though my accuracy level was like good, pretty good, but I think I could have scored like 3-4 marks. So the 3-4 marks would have increased my rank by say 20 or 30 ranks ahead. So the presence of mind is very very necessary. And one more thing is like, say if you don't get a question, please immediately move to the next question and don't waste your time there. You can also come back to it, but there might be a lot of easy questions for you waiting at the end, and you might be tending to lose those if you spend a lot of time in one particular question. And if you think you're draining in a particular question, please don't don't lose your confidence or something. Immediately keep moving on to the next question and see what you can do better. Never get demotivated in the exam, and just keep moving on. Solve it properly, give enough time to it, see if you don't make any silly mistakes as I did, so, and move on properly and complete the paper. That's it.
Perfect. Thank you so much. And now I will go to Kruti. Kruti, you should also talk about ISI. Kruti and Shukan, how you did it, and this time, yeah, and last time, yeah, Kruti.
Yeah, so last time my terrible mistake was not focusing more on PSA. I focused more on PSB. So that was the one mistake I committed. So this time I focused on PSA more rather than PSB, because there is a certain cutoff. Even if it's written in the paper that there's a certain cutoff, if you cannot attempt enough PSB questions, it's of no use. So having the presence of mind of attempting both of them in a perfect balance is what I did this time. So I attempted 4.5 PhD questions, and I only attempted those which I was like 100% sure of it. So yeah, that was how I did for ISI this time. So my only mistake was getting satisfied too quickly. Like, yeah, I've attempted this much questions. Now I'm satisfied. So you should not stay satisfied. You should be hungry for more. Like, try on going on more problems. Yeah.
Sure. Perfect. Yeah, Janatrika.
Yeah, so this Kriti had it right. Like, you should attempt questions which you're at least 90% sure of. Just give me a minute. So yeah, so what happens in jam is that, say 2 persons get the same mark, you are ranked based on your matter of accuracy. Say they might be attempting 50 questions and they have only 40 questions would be correct, but say you attempted only 40 questions and out of that 35 questions are correct, so you will be given a better rank than the other person. So the don't attempt all the questions, and there's also negative mark in the first section, right? So I would say that don't attempt all the questions as you feel, but be a little bit sure of the questions and then attempt it, because it matters in the ranking.
Sure. Okay. Thank you, Janatrika. Naveen.
Uh,
Sorry. I would like to also ask Kruti once, Naveen, sorry, about how was your ISI interview, and I will also ask them to Shukan. Otherwise, I will forget.
Yeah, my ISI interview was somewhat confusing to me on as well. So they usually start from a comparatively simpler question, and then they go on adding a twist to it. So I answered all of them 60 to 70%, and the last twist I was not able to answer surely. So they actually got the vibe that I know the concept, but they also wanted to check that how I'm able to twist the concepts in order to get a desired result. So more or less, I would say that I could have done better. But there is this nervousness and there is this tension that you have there that makes you forget things even if you could have answered that. So that was pretty much my interview experience.
I still remember my ISI study interview. It was so tense. I understand that. So absolutely. It was very tense. I mean, it was full of tense. But the professors make it very. They try to make it, make you calm down, and they told me like, take your time, take your time. That was good. Yeah. So now I will go on to Naveen. Yeah.
यस तो मेरे साथ पिछली बार जो गलत हुआ था वो था कि मैं शुरू में ही पैनिक हो गया था, मुझे एंजाइटी हो गई थी, बहुत ज़्यादा एंजाइटी हो गई तो अब की बार वो नहीं था, वो एकदम से मैं ज़ीरो लेवल पर था, मेरी एनर्जी लेवल हाई थी और कभी भी कोई दिक्कत नहीं हुआ, पहली बात। और दूसरा जो अब की बार गलती हुआ वो हुआ कि मैं एज्यूम किया था कि 43-44 क्वेश्चन ही करना है, उससे ज़्यादा नहीं हो पाएगा। तो एक गलती थी कि एक छोटा एम बनाने के कारण यहाँ पे यहीं तक ही कर पाया, वहाँ तक ही सोच पाया कि हाँ 43 क्वेश्चन हो जाएगा इतने टाइम में। और और अ, मैंने पहले 2 नंबर का क्वेश्चन किया पीएसए का, सॉरी एम सॉरी आई फॉरगॉट
MCQ NAT.
एमसी ओके ओके। तो एमसीक्यू का पहले 2 नंबर का क्वेश्चन किया, उसके बाद फिर 1 नंबर का क्वेश्चन किया और 1.5 घंटे के अंदर इसमें जितना भी हो सकता था कर लिया। उसके बाद फिर मैंने एनएटी किया, उसके बाद एमएसक्यू किया, क्योंकि एमएसक्यू में मुझे लगता है कि उसमें एक क्वेश्चन में 4 क्वेश्चन होते हैं, तो अगर हम 4 क्वेश्चन में से एक भी क्वेश्चन कहीं से भी गड़बड़ कर दिए, एक भी ऑप्शन गड़बड़ किए तो गलत हो जाएगा, इसलिए लास्ट में उसको अटेम्प्ट किया और ये सक्सेसफुल था, ये एक्सपेरिमेंट सक्सेसफुल था।
Okay.
यस।
Perfect. Thank you, Naveen. Thank you. Um, Raghav. Both
Yes,
IIT
sir.
and ISI. ISI
Uh,
written, ISI interview. 3 cheese.
what are you talking about? We are talking about the mistakes that were made in the preparation.
Mistakes and how could you have improved? What will you suggest to juniors who will be giving it next year?
Okay. So, the main mistake I made was that I thought I couldn't do it. So the thing was, when I started preparing for JAM, I thought that like a lot of people are doing it, there are a lot of droppers, and how could I do it? Actually, I never wanted to go to Kanpur, IIT Kanpur. I always thought I'll go to IIT Bombay or I won't go. I won't do MSc. I don't know why. I just didn't want to go to Kanpur. No specific reason. So I just thought that there are only 20, 25 seats for me, and there are a lot of people preparing for it. So I always undermined myself, and I always thought that it's difficult. But uh, after the exam, I realized that actually it's not that difficult. If you are prepared well from your end, then it's possible. It's not that difficult. And even after doing IIT, even after the result of IIT, I thought the same for ISI. I thought that ISI is really difficult and I won't be able to do it and all this stuff. And that's why I wasn't able to prepare really well for it. I was like very fixated on it that I won't be able to do it. I thought that a lot of people prepare for ISI. I am not the ISI guy. And that's why I didn't do well for it. And if I would have done it, so probably I would have gotten to ISI as well.
Yeah,
Yeah.
he's ranked 25th and it closes at 23, right?
Yes, sir.
Oh, okay. Sorry to hear this, but yes, it's very disheartening. I know that. I know that. I know that.
And I'm still keeping high hopes, maybe in the second or third cutoff.
I
You
hope
never
so.
know.
Yeah.
Well,
I know which people prefer IIT over ISI among the people who have got into ISI. Okay, so thank you. And how was the interview? Did you talk about the interview?
and yes, sir. So, the interview went actually my written the PS and PHP did not go that well. The interview went really well. So I guess that's how I made it there.
Okay, got it. Thank you, Raghav. Thank you. Now I
Thank
will
you.
move on to Shukanya. Yeah, you want to add something more? Oh,
No, sir, thank you.
okay. Shukanya, IIT, ISI, written and ISI interview.
So for jam, I think the mistake that I've done is not practicing how to write on in the jam exam, because when we do assignments, I took a day's time to do an assignment and wrote very elaborately. That helped in ISI, but that was not helpful for jam, because in that time you have to take down the information from the screen to your paper efficiently, time efficiently, most importantly. So that was one mistake. And another mistake were like silly mistakes, the difference between type 2 error and power. I forgot to do the one minus thing. And then correct, incorrect, which one is correct, what is the question. So
True, false.
confusing. Hmm?
True, false.
Yes, which one is true, which one is false. I've done those mistakes. And for PSA, PSB, for PSA, PSB, I think I did basic mistakes. Like I wrote the wrong PMF. And for PSB, I think I should have done problems which I knew half. Like I couldn't solve it fully, but I could have done it half. And for the interview, I was really tensed about the interview.
Yeah.
So when I got into the room, they first asked me conditional binomial, and I forgot how to derive a conditional distribution. So then they helped me.
What is a conditional binomial?
Like x and y follows binomial
Okay.
and
X given. Okay,
Yes,
x given x plus y.
X plus y.
Okay, okay.
And my questions were sort of easy, I think. They asked me from the topic. I said I like the favorite topics, linear algebra and inference. And the panel was also good. They helped throughout. And they didn't ask any from the PSP, my answer sheet.
Okay. Let me know. I didn't ask you this because I didn't have the time to. So how was the Cheenta interview, mock interview? Did it help you? Like, I mean, you
Yes,
will be
yes.
saying on live, you can say that it cannot help, didn't help you, or you can say like what could have been improved. Yeah. So I'm not
the
sure.
Cheenta life helped me. So Shohardada asked me what is state WLLN, and I couldn't say it at that time. I knew that they weren't like very high professors, but I also freaked out in front of them. So well, I knew that I had to know all the definitions word by word, and I cannot panic. I have traveled 40 hours on train, and I cannot panic in that moment.
Yes,
So
true.
that was helpful. The Cheenta interview was helpful in the way that I couldn't also solve a class 12 problem, basic classical probability problem. And when they shut off the interview, I solved it in a second, but couldn't say it in front of them. The thinking connection stops when. And another thing is that when someone is telling you the problem, you have to write it down on the board, because we are not used to, we are more used to reading a problem, not listening to and solving them. So I got to know about the mistakes basically.
Okay. I didn't ask Kruti and Raghav. So how was the mock interview?
Yeah, it was absolutely helpful for me. It actually showed where I actually stand. And obviously, like Sukanya said, I also freaked out in front of, even if they were not actual ISI professors, but both of them really helped, and they asked, they showed me my mistakes. They showed me what I should have done, what I should not have done. So yeah,
Sure.
same answer as Sukanya.
Raghav, the same answer?
Yes, sir.
Okay. Thank you. So now I will open up the stage for the students. Let me read out two messages that I have got. Hi, myself Chirag. So is the right time to this is the right time to finish and start. So what is the right time to finish the syllabus and start revision and giving mock tests? So I would really appreciate if the students. I think Chirag is here. Is Chirag here? Yes. So can you turn on your mic and speak and ask the question?
Hello.
Hi.
Hi, I'm Chirag. I graduated from BSc. I'm from Bangalore basically. I graduated. I'm taking a year back, so I might start now. So my question is, when do I finish the portions, and when do I start the revision, and when do I start giving mock exams? That was my question.
Yeah. So what is your background?
BSc Maths, Stats, and Computer Science.
Yeah. So I think they have answered the question that yes, you should
I,
start
I,
right
I
away.
got it. Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. Okay. Any more questions?
No more questions.
Thank you. Um, Shayon, can you ask your question? Actually, your question was hard to understand, like what you really meant. So, can you unmute yourself if you're here? Shayon is not here. Okay. So let's go to Aditi. Aditi, are you here? Yeah, Aditi is here. So, Aditi, can you unmute yourself and ask your question, please?
Uh, I had a bit of a problem in real analysis, understanding it. I mean, whenever I see the question, I actually get very panicked. So, uh, that is why I was asking how to actually approach such problems.
Okay.
I mean, I have watched the Cheenta lectures and everything, but still, whenever I see the question, it just feels like I won't be able to do it.
Hmm.
So,
I mean, what suggestions do you have? I think from my side, whatever my suggestion is, if it's only about panicking, I mean, you should focus on your panic thing more than your knowledge. So, as Naveen has said, do some meditation or whatever suits you. Do if you play something, play a musical instrument, play. If you do workout, whatever is your meditation for you. Okay, whatever makes you focused and be happy. So I would say do that and let your panic boil down. I don't know what I'm sure they have faced other issues. So do anyone wants to suggest something to Aditi regarding this? Even if it should not be all about real analysis, but it can be also about other stuff, other similar things you have faced.
Uh, Maybe I can tell a few things. So,
Yeah,
so regarding the analysis, I think that's the first subject we start learning in maths, I suppose. Like
yeah.
first part, first chapter. So, yeah, I too face problem in that. So, think where you're facing the problem. Matlab, say you take a particular problem, uh, you're not able to do it at the first hand, right? So think why you're not able to do it despite learning the theory, and try to understand that part properly, and try to attempt questions like around, say, like slowly. Don't get disheartened if you're not able to do it at the first end. See the problem solving classes, and immediately, if you don't get the question, don't jump to see the solution. Think a little bit, take your time. And I think everyone will be having some kind of medium to calm themselves down. So try to do that and see where you're not able to understand it. So real analysis start from the basic theory, and see some problem solving videos in the initial days to get the knack of solving those questions, and solve it with full patience. So that is the most important thing. And once you get it, I think it's pretty much easier to go about with it.
Sure. Okay, thank you. Kruti wanted to add something to for Aditi.
Yeah, I would say that probably you should start solving from very, very basic problem to build up your confidence. So, yeah, that's all.
So where can she get such problems?
I actually searched a lot on the internet for some basic problems. If everyone wants, I can share the PDF of like the level difficulty. It's first very basic problems, then a little bit tough, then it goes on increasing. I have those PDFs of problems. They have hundreds of problems. So yeah, it's very helpful.
So can you do one thing? Can you send me your LinkedIn IDs in the group in this chat? Students can get in touch with you. You can
Yeah,
have,
sure.
yeah, all of you send the LinkedIn ID, all the speakers out there in this chat right away. Janitrika, Kruti, Anupam, Naveen, or Gmail ID, whatever works for you. How can students reach out to you? Whatever works for you. Any other questions from the student side? Any questions? Did we cover everything out there properly? Thank you, Kruti. Kruti, can you also share me that PDF?
Yeah. Can I share this after this session?
Of course, of course, of course. Not now.
Mhm.
Okay, thank you, Raghav, Kruti. You can also send a Gmail ID if you do not have a LinkedIn profile. Whatever works for you. Any students? Any question want to ask to them? You can ask it now. You can ask it after the meet.
Hello, sir.
Yes, yes, Anish.
Yeah,
Yes.
yeah. So, hello everyone. I'm Atish from Mumbai. Currently, I'm in third year, and I have to appear in 2025 for IIT Jam. I wanted to ask, how do you guys had covered the backlogs? Like, I quite joined Cheenta quite late, coping up with mathematics part and eventually gradually proceeding towards the completion of portion. So, how do you cover backlogs? Like just by watching Cheenta lectures or some extra material?
Yeah, anyone can answer. Hello. Janitrika, Kruti, Raghav, Shukanya.
Okay, so let me answer. I was searching for my LinkedIn ID. Sorry. So I was saying, since you joined late, just go with the flow of Cheenta. So I think doing those assignments is pretty much good. And last 2-3 months, I think you can completely spend your time for problem solving, provided you completed the syllabus well in advance. And even if you don't complete the syllabus, divide your time for completing the syllabus one part and solving the questions of the parts where you have completed the theory. And going with Cheenta is really helpful. Like, go with the flow of it. I think you have joined late, right? So since you have not seen the previous lecture videos, so try to complete, like, uh, you know uh, uh, divide the, plan your months for uh, completing the syllabus, and just do the assignments of Cheenta and a little bit of problems. I think you're in those groups of this IIT, ISI, CUET preparation groups where a lot of students are there, not only the Cheenta students, I suppose. So there are a lot of people ask questions. So try solving those questions and get in touch with those people also, like, just for solving the problems. And I think a lot of people send even the doubt problems. At least in my time, in my group, a lot of doubt problems used to come. So try solving those questions. I think that is pretty much good. So that is something I did, and it worked out as well.
Yeah.
Oh, thank you, ma'am. I just have another question, like how indifferent it is for a student who is like from statistics or mathematics background and someone who is not from that background. Like I'm doing my bachelor's in data science and business analytics, so I have to like start from zero eventually.
I agree to that.
So how difficult or how indifferent it is? Like, can you distinguish between the both the spectrums?
Okay. So though I studied statistics, for me, maths, I knew nothing. To be honest, I knew nothing when I started in maths. So if you think your basics are not strong, in fact, you don't know the basics itself, try, spend a lot of time learning the theory. First thing is, don't get demotivated at any point of time. Don't think that others are doing it so fast or others are going ahead somewhere and you're not even in half the way than them. So start from your basics. Spend a lot of time clearing your concepts. And I think see the lecture videos of Cheenta classes. And I think you should spend a lot of time on theory. What for me, I had a better background of probability and statistics rather than maths, so I spent a lot of time on maths. If you don't have in both, I think you should prepare your plan your days in such a way that you spend a lot of time on theory as well as, problem solving a little bit. So balance it both and, take it to the flow. Like I think you still have time till February, and it is just, starting of July. Today is end of June. So I think from tomorrow you still have, 6 months in this year, and again a 1 month there. So you'll have solid 7 months in your hand. And if you are a college student who's pursuing it right now, you might be having your exams and all that in beach way. So plan your days. See within how many days you should be completing your syllabus. And if you're not able to complete it by that time, please don't get disheartened. See where you're lagging, and speeden up your process and complete the theory properly, because your basics should be clear before you move on to problems. So that is the main thing. So plan it out properly, and yeah, as I said, just watch the Cheenta classes. Like, go with the flow of Cheenta. I think that's quite helpful.
Yeah, because I think we already made a plan for the students, step-by-step plan. So I think a student doing it again, you have to do it like, what is your strength, what is the weakness? You can just pick up from there. But I think the plan is pretty good. It has worked for years. So I'm sure it should work for you too. Just you need more time or less time. That's it. Okay, any other
Thank you
question?
so much.
Absolutely. All the best,
Thank you,
Anish.
sir.
All the best. Yeah, I would say this is my observation over the years, that it's just that I think the plan is there. It's just that you have to either give more time or less time. I think I have seen people getting into IIT, ISI over 3 years. Okay. Either you start early or you start late and give more time. I mean, whatever the small successes you see, for example, I have seen, people saying that they have done this and they have got it in a short time, but it is not the case, because they are back. Let's say you probably will see a student who say that I gave so many mock tests and I got into IIT or ISI, but I do not think it's the case, because that student was learning statistics for the last 3 years. Okay, that's why us giving a few mock tests or quite a few mock tests has helped him or her build that. But everyone is not in the same condition, right? You have to give time. There is no other way out. If you have not given it before, you have to give now. Do not compare it with anyone else, because everyone is on a different position in their preparation journey. So thank you for joining, all the students out here, and I hope it has helped you. And I'm utmost grateful to the speakers for believing in Cheenta and giving their best, and also giving their time now. And I hope that they will do really great in the future. And Cheenta's door is always open for them, for learning and gaining knowledge. Thank you, and thank you all of you for the time. Have a good night and have a beautiful time ahead. Bye-bye.